Now in China, the government is not only cracking down on Muslims but on other religions as well as it pushes to assert communist ideology. Buddhist temples has been closed or demolished, while a campaign has been launched to destroy hundreds of statues of Buddha. The destruction of the giant Kuan Yin Buddha has drawn international condemnation. Let's hear the report of correspondent Matthias Bollinger.
Liu Ming is a devout Buddhist. Liu is not his real name, he's afraid of repercussions. In his hometown of Xi'an, Buddhists have come under pressure from the government since they started protesting against the destruction of a Buddhist site on the outskirts of the city. The three-faced statue of Guan Yin, the deity of mercy in Chinese Buddhism, is being demolished.
Suddenly, the government fends the statue off. They are doing works inside, but they have not told anyone about the reasons for the destruction. It's left us Buddhists and those who worship the goddess Guan Yin inside and outside China quite bewildered.
The three-faced Guan Yin and an adjacent monastery were built in 2002, when a company donated the giant statue to the Buddhist community. Made of white jade, it quickly became famous. I am trying to get a look at the site. The statue is located in a mountainous region about an hour's drive from the city center. The decision to build the statue here in these mountains was not a coincidence. Buddhism has a long history here. This area is something like the cradle of Chinese Buddhism. Many of the Buddhist classics were first translated from Sanskrit into Chinese in monasteries located in this area. As we approach the statue, we see security guards posted at the roadside. Stopping and taking pictures of the demolition is strictly prohibited. The government does not want these images to spread on social media. We can only film out of the car window. It is unclear how far the demolition has already gone. Activists have written to the government and campaigned on social media to save the statue. Buddhist associations as far away as Malaysia have protested against its demolition, but to no avail. Xi'an is an ancient capital of China. Tourists from all over the world come to see its historic sites, including its Buddhist heritage. But in recent years, the government has pushed for a revival of communist ideology. Even inside Da-Zi-An Temple, a world-famous Buddhist heritage site, a sign reminds visitors to uphold socialist values.
It's not only Buddhism, but also Christianity and Islam. The Chinese government is putting immense pressure on religions. Buddhism is treated more leniently because the government considers it to be more in line with their norms. But I've witnessed myself the pressure they're putting on Buddhist temples, and that activity is increasing.
Temples have been forced to cancel religious events. Monasteries have had some of their buildings demolished. Experts estimate that the three-faced Buddha is just one of up to 800 statues that have been destroyed in recent years. For communist ideology, for the ideology of the Communist Party in the past few years, we've seen a hardening of the ideological line within the party and a greater push for their ideology in public discourse. So religion is always, of course, something that is in competition with this ideology that is atheist, and the Communist Party member must promise to be an atheist, cannot be member of any religious organization, in theory at least. And so what we've seen recently is that displays of spirituality, of religion, especially recently, like these 800 Buddha statues recently erected, the statues are being torn down, are being demolished to make religion less visible in the public. pressure on them is a lot higher, especially in the western region of Xinjiang, where there are distinct Muslim minorities, the Uyghurs and the Kazakhs. Pressure on them is very high. Praying can get you into an internment camp there. But there's also pressure on other Muslim groups that are not in the focus of the authorities because of their ethnicity, but on their display of religion. For example, mosques have been destroyed or have been remodeled. If they were built in an Oriental style, in a Middle Eastern style, they had to tear down some of these features and replace them with Chinese features, and churches had their crosses removed. There has been pressure on Christian communities, also on newly established Christian communities, mostly Protestant communities, where pastors have been arrested, but also on the traditional Christian communities that are found in some of the locations in the countryside. The Communist Party is pushing forward with its ideology, and it's pushing back any value system that might compete with them. And these religions, especially Christianity and Islam, that are seen as foreign religions, are under huge pressure. Power over discourse in the community, power over what people think, what people at least are allowed to publicly think. Being a Buddhist will not get you to jail, but they do not want this Buddhist faith displayed as they would have allowed it 20 years ago.